for Black girl nerds.
Good morning, afternoon, gentlemen, depending on where you are. You both played such a pivotal role in Beth's evolution from where she began in chess to where she ultimately ends up. Beginning with you, Harry, your character Henry, he teaches her a lot about humility and kind of living beyond those squares on a board. What do you think what was best about their relationship and what aided her development into kind of like a whole person instead of that little girl who's just trapped inside those squares?
Yeah, I think, it's Harry, by the way, just in case no, not at all. Yeah, we meet Harry Beltik, and he's quite, I think he's quite, he's in his domain. It's Kentucky. He's the chess champion, so I think he's in his sort of ring. And then obviously Beth comes into the arena, and his bubble gets burst very quick. So yeah, and then the story, like you said, sort of unfolds from that point in terms of their relationship. I think it's fair to say that Beth completely just kind of rocks his world a bit. He doesn't know, he gets completely sort of taken off his path in terms of what he thinks he should be doing. So yeah, I think that's kind of their relationship from that point. And of course, I don't want to give too much away, but it sort of unfolds from that point, and he really wants to help her, not only in chess, but as a person as well.
Absolutely, because she's definitely lacking, and he brings that kind of humanity to her. Thomas, the same to you with your interaction, with your character's interaction with Beth, also aids her development, and there's sort of a challenge to trying to connect and care for a person who doesn't necessarily want it or doesn't know that they need it. How would you explain the dynamic between their two characters?
I think he sees her natural raw talent and it's slightly in awe of it, and I don't think he kind of feels that very often about anyone that he plays, because he's used to being one of the best there is. Certainly within the United States anyway. He's the US champion, so he can get very arrogant about it, but she has this slightly self-destructive manner that I think he just wants to almost kind of just reminded that she needs to look after herself and kind of nourish herself, and that in turn is how she'll be the best at her game. And so I think he just kind of takes her under his wing and wants to just impart the knowledge that he has of being an amazing player, but also how to have fun in the right way, and when to have fun and when to concentrate. And because he sees this potential for her greatness to flourish and to grow, and I think he kind of is saddened by the fact that she is probably aware of it, but as a lot of people do, have this kind of weird self-destructive thing that they do upon themselves, and just tries to work with her and understand that, because it's a bit of an enigma for him as well, which is part of the attraction.
Right. You know, what was interesting to me is how she was susceptible to drugs, giving her early beginnings in the orphanage, and how drugs aided her genius. But neither of your characters seem to have those issues with addiction. At least it's not part of the storyline. Closing with you, Harry, what do you think is the challenges of loving someone who's that close to genius, at least as it pertains to your characters, loving someone that is so close to genius that they can't see anything beyond that?
Good question. Yeah. I think one of the common threads in this chess world from research and meeting players is it's the obsession that is always behind it. And I think actually what this narrative does really brilliantly is it really articulates the cost of that genius. What is the cost of having to, be constantly obsessed with winning and constantly figuring out moves? And you're right, in terms of Harry's character, trying to sort of navigate that space with Beth and to make sure that she is all right, and to ask questions that maybe she isn't asking herself. It's a very difficult territory to sort of maneuver through. So yeah, but yeah, I think I think it's interesting how much it costs Beth to live this way.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoyed the series greatly.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.